Hello, everyone. NFP Day, TGIFJs, Brock, Alexander. How's everyone doing? Who had a good week? You want to share with us how you did it? Long the dollar? Dixie threatening? You dug a hole? Brock and Ethereum, congratulations. Okay, the oil's up a little bit, but I know it's a bull market, but we did have a 2-week reversal. It's going to take a lot to change that. That's a pretty ugly candle. I have a couple of targets that were return lines that I think eventually, before we rally to new highs, that we could get down to maybe 73 or so. Just something to think about. We could rally a little bit here, but there's no arguing that we haven't seen this combination of candles. Blake, what is that? Is that these two candles? What's the candlestick name for that? Anyway, it's pretty negative. And I know the metals are higher. They had a great week. I just want to make a point. Silver a little less so, but shorts on every all-time high. Okay. Not sure what that means. Okay, yeah, I was talking about the metals. So, I mean, the gold had a great day yesterday, right? 2 days in a row after here's silver, what silver did and what gold did. I'd be pretty disappointed if I was owning silver shares. I'll show you why. So, here's the action in silver. And then look at this. And I know silver came off, but, we had this day, Thursday, and this day, Friday. Pretty lousy action. And even gold, which gave back nothing. Look at GDX compared to gold. So,
Dale, I'm sorry. What were you looking at? I was just in the middle of trying to do a few things.
The good days that. Oh yeah, I was asking about the candlesticks for oil on the weekly. What you would call them? See the two red candles there? Is that a candlestick formation? Evening star?
No, let me pull it up on my, because you got all these lines drawn out over it.
Oh, okay. It's just the last 2 weeks. And then I was talking, Blake, even with the great nice action in precious metals, that the shares were lower. I mean, actually GDX couldn't even give us an update with gold up $20. So, that I'd be disappointed if I was long miners after the last couple of days that gold and silver had.
Yeah, I mean, you know my thoughts on that.
I know.
And actually, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the crude like weekly candles. That's really more of an evening star. I mean,
that's what I guessed. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a evening star, or it could be dark cloud cover. Bottom line is, it's not bullish.
Yeah, that's
you can call it whatever you want. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not a bullish setup. So if you throw percentages at it like right now, it would be okay. Well, there's probably a 70% chance that we have a sell-off from here versus a 30% chance of a rally. That's how bearish they look. It's not a guarantee, but it definitely leans a lot more bearish than bullish. So however you want to frame it. So I mean, but so, one of the things that
my best call this week anyway.
I wanted to point out really quick, and something we talked about in the chat room about backwardation and like the last couple of weeks, which has been a big driver, where people didn't think there would be enough supply to meet demand, and that I guess is really reversed over the last couple of days in the curve of the of some of the crude contracts. And so you're basically, people are worried less about those problems, and with OPEC, and
are we still in backwardation, just not as extreme?
Not as extreme as what is what it looks like. And that's what's allowed for the pullback. But I don't know. I mean, I would venture to guess in the 74 to 76 dollar range, you're going to find a lot of support with crude. That would be
I'm not looking for anything lower than 72 and then a new high. So anyway, and it is still a strong bull market, and it was only a trade for a reaction, not a top.
I think that's pretty logical. So
what are you thinking coming into NFP, Blake? What was your guess on the number on Ryan's contest?
And by the way, if you're listening in and you have not jumped on that Twitter, Ryan, where are you? Is he here?
I'm here.
He's tabulating.
Ryan, talk a little bit about it. I got to type here, and then I'll tell you why I answered the way I answered.
Okay.
I'll give you a reasoning.
Yeah.
So Ryan, you getting a lot of participation in that?
Yeah, getting a lot of people on there. Pick the numbers is a good prize. We've got three lucky winners. Will win a free month on the ForexAnalytix platform. That's nice. Open to new people and subscribers as well. If you're a subscriber, you'll get a month added onto your existing sub. But what we are doing, because the ForexAnalytix guys keep winning it, we're going to make sure that at least one of those subs goes to a new person. Yeah, at least one of those subs.
And here's the thing, Ryan. I have been promising sending like you gear, or ForexAnalytix gear. I actually, it's funny. Next to my desk, I have the box. It's actually ready to send you, and I got to send Simon some gear if Simon's listening in. I've got his box sitting here, and I have to pack it, and and so you guys are going to win. You're going to actually win something sometime, someday.
Something. Supply chains. Here we go. Supply chains issues.
It is supply. Like I'll just blame supply chain issues.
Procrastination.
Oh my God, it's I'm not gonna lie. I'm the worst procrastinator when it comes to the post office. That is there's like three places in that I hate going to: the post office, a car dealership, and a cell phone retailer. Those are the three places that you get, and I'll even go to the dentist before any of those three places. So, but hey, I wanted to mention, if you guys are at home and you haven't registered for the NFP thing, please do so on Ryan's tweet. Ryan, if you want to tweet that out, give people one last try to do it, to guess it, because then you guys can win a free month and jump in our chat rooms.
I'll grab the link and put it in here as well.
Sounds good. And Dale, what I can do is I can take over the charts really quick, so I can give us all a view of them, of everything. But I by the way, I'm with you on crude. Just to reiterate, I really think that crude oil is, as we were talking about, that's the weekly chart that you pointed out. But this is really the big support zone I've been looking for. I mean, my charts haven't changed forever, and you can see them. This is the continuous contract, and you can just go back to 2011. I mean, this is all, there's a reason why I drew all this, right? It's all previous low, spike low, spike high, spike high, spike high. Oh, well, that's probably where we're going to be finding some support, anywhere between 78 and $75. So if
you're one of the hardest working technicians I know, Blake.
I don't know about that, but I do.
You are.
Here's the thing. If you guys use ForexAnalytix, every day I update at the end of the day all the basic technical analysis for all of the 30 instruments that you see here. So the thing is, and this is one of the things that I always love doing what I do in the markets, and doing this with ForexAnalytix, it really forces me to look at every market. Because you get lazy as traders. you know, you get profitable and you go, you know, I don't need to work as hard as I, you know, worked before. You know, don't need to look at as many charts because, you know, I had a good week. I had a good month. I'm actually forced to look every evening and every day at least 30 instruments. Now that obviously doesn't go throughout the course of the other 13 hours I'm in front of the computer doing analysis on all sorts of other crap that, you know, comes flying by, you know, my, you know, watch list.
Can I ask you a question, Blake?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you get chart blindness?
Yes, a lot of, you know, actually I do. Well, it's more of, I get to a place a lot of times, especially like, you know, let's like take a chart, which most recently I did this. It would probably have been with the dollar max. Most recently with the dollar max, I had to come through the charts and just basically delete everything and redraw everything and clean, you know, because it allowed me to clean it up. So yes,
it's a big thing, isn't it? It's a big thing. You know, you end up putting so much on a chart over the different time frames that you go into it one day and you think, what the hell is this crap? I don't understand what I'm
doing. Right. You can't even see the candles anymore.
Nah. Exactly.
No, and you have to go. You have to go through and clean it up.
Yeah, have a spring clean.
You definitely do. Hey, guys, I want to mention really quick if you haven't read the Canadian, you know, like the Canadian update from KMan, which you guys have been hearing KMan here on the Face webinar. Make sure you read this. It's a really good update from KMan. Hey, he's even got his picture. I like that. KMan, if you're here and you want to, you know, mention something about your preview, please feel free to, you know, mic up and. Oh, he is.
I am.
Hey. Well, don't take it all away from everybody. Make sure they come read this. So, what are you thinking here?
Okay. So first of all, it has a little twist because I'm not really talking a lot about the dollar Canada as such.
Yep.
Because we have like a possible double whammy or reports in the same way or opposite way between the US and Canada. Yep. It's important, of course, because the dollar Canada is the main driver, but I've relatively quickly ran through the levels on the preview, which are basically 122.90, 125, and then with 125, 2025 above there, and the big zone probably around 125, 70, 90, 126, the figure. But I took a closer look at the Euro Canada.
By the way, I was going to say, you know, I've seen a lot of people just recently over the last, you know, couple weeks really trying to pick up this Euro Canadian long. And to be honest, it hasn't done anything. I mean, you know, I just needed to add that.
At the longer term, we are back in the same box that we sat in 2020. We sat in between 2015 and 2017. There's been a lot of traffic in this zone. So my overall bias is still relatively bearish on the euro. I think if this can break sub 143, 142.80 tonight or 142.75, we could be in for a next leg lower. So that's basically the gist of my preview.
Thank you.
The dollar has bounced. The dollar is bouncing versus most, barring yen and Swiss only following in the distance. But the euro is not bouncing really a lot, and we still have this central bank divergence, I think, between Bank of Canada and the ECB. And that prevents Euro Canada from bouncing too much. I think with a good report today, there's a fair chance we break through the box on the downside again. So that's basically what's in the preview.
That's great. Thank you so much, KMan. Really appreciate it. And like I said, a lot of people have been trying to buy this Euro Canadian over the last couple of weeks. Just no payoff for those longs. And you know, you can see that breakthrough support. We could, you know, really have another leg lower. I couldn't agree more. But that would mean that we'd have to have a pretty good, strong or pretty good Canadian jobs report, which you should read the read KMan's update. I will say on the flip side of that, I just, for those of you that have been following along this week, I was long the dollar Canadian down here around the 124, 124.10, looking for a move higher. to test the 200-day moving average and the 125 level. I just got out of it this morning at 124.74. If you guys are in the ForexAnalytix chat room, you can see right here, reducing longs in the US dollar, Norwegian krona, Canadian ZAR, and then I just closed the remainder of the dollar Canadian longs there. And that, this is where obviously we're all putting our trades, and then there's the general chat room, and then here's the Forex Flow chat room, and here's the news and research room. And so I just showing you guys, just for those of you that are trying to win a free month of ForexAnalytix, this is the chat room that you'll be in, on top of getting the mobile app and our award-winning community. So we'll see you in here, along with all the live analysis and live news, and then the data flash that we're going to be using in a little bit. But okay, enough about that. Speaking of the Canadian, I think technically we're up against the 200-day moving average. Previous support should act as current resistance. It is. That's why I got out of my longs. I am going to look to be long above 125. We get a strong US report. We get a weak Canadian report. That should be the play. And that's the one that I'm looking for. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the number, because Ryan put up the NFP contest, right? And he's been putting it out here on his stream, and here it is. This is Ryan's thoughts. Ryan, did you just put that out 16 minutes ago?
Yeah. Dang, no rest of the wicket, mate.
I just missed that. Holy cow. All right. So anyway, Ryan's got his thoughts here. Make sure you guys jump in that NFP preview. But I guessed 399,000 jobs. Now, let me tell you why. I am notoriously bad at guessing non-farm payroll. I'm pretty much the worst. If Blake is an NFP guesser, I would be that bank that's always on the wrong side. So earlier this week, I was saying, hey, I think there's going to be a fairly strong jobs report. I think we're gonna bounce back, and we're going to see, well above 600,000 jobs again. And I said, then I guessed 399,000 jobs, because I wanted to combat my call, because I actually do think that we're going to get strong.
You're fading yourself.
And like I said, and by the way, as far as NFP guesses go, I do like to joke around about that quite a bit. But I have my fun guessing the numbers, and I think it is kind of a crapshoot. And sometimes I nail it, and sometimes I don't. But I do think that the jobs report is going to be important, because a strong jobs report is just going to accelerate the idea that the Fed might, speed up its taper process, and we're going to see wage inflation and blah, 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 blah. So those are my initial thoughts. Now, I know Stelios is probably here. Ryan, you probably have some thoughts. What I don't think Steve is here this morning. So what do you guys think here? And good morning, Stelios, if you are.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey guys, we made it to the end of the week.
Yes,
I think payrolls today is probably going to be less important than other months, but because of the FOMC we had there. Sorry.
Really? So you don't think you think it's going to be less important?
I think it's going to be.
That's interesting.
I think it's going to be a dud, but I think if the number comes in strong. Yes, that reinforces the possibility of the Feds, increasing the taper maybe. But I think, again, once more, the risk is that if it's weaker than expected, then that's probably going to have a bigger effect on the dollar, on everything. But again, I don't know. The majority. I was reading the estimates from all the major banks, and everybody's pretty much between 350 and 550. So people are expecting somewhere around 450, and it has to be, I think, an outsized number to make any difference. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think it's gonna do much today.
All right, Daddy, no fun. So Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with Stel on the importance.
Yeah, let's
all right. Fight.
So what do you think? And I agree with you, by the way. I agree.
It's twofold. The reason I think it's important is because this is the first full month after all the job support came off in September. So we potentially could get a good look at whether we're going to see any effects from that kicking in. Are we going to see the participation rate rising because everyone's off stim checks and people are getting back in the jobs market? Or is it going to be the same old, where people aren't coming back and workers are getting hired from a diminishing pot of people, which is going to have an effect on wages? So there's a lot of noise in this, but I think it's an important one. Numbers wise, I think anywhere between, sort of 150 and 400, the market's not going to be too fussed about it. We've had some fairly lowish numbers when people were looking at 700s and millions, 600s. We were getting, 200s, the 194 last month, although there was that little skew with the government payrolls down 123. So maybe that comes out. But anywhere between sort of 150 and 400, the market's not going to be too bothered. Outside of that, we'll get a likely bigger reaction.
All right, so you're hoping for an outsized number as well, and I have to agree with you. And one of the other things that we do have to keep in mind, we have yet to hear if Powell is going to be nominated again. Now, there's murmurs out there. There was a lot of murmurs last night. And one of the things that's keeping risk assets elevated is that that there's Powell's going to be renominated. That's the word on the street now. And that's the market expectations. And just remember, if for some reason he is not, that's going to be a problem for risk more than likely. Any type of change is bad for risk, but in this case, it could be, if it's not Brainerd, it could be double bad for risk. And the reason why we're all kind of concerned about it is because it's kind of late in the year, not knowing who the Fed governor is going to be. Everybody has expected that over the last 2 weeks we were going to get word of who it was going to be, and yet we don't know. And perhaps Biden completely forgot. Okay, I'll stop there. For no reason whatsoever. Anyway, so we got the euro dollar is really approaching support, and I want to talk a little bit about the euro and where it's at. So the euro, you guys have, if you've listened to me long enough, you know that ahead of key numbers and key reports, the market usually finds itself mid-range, like wherever that is at the time for that market. So, like if you've got the dollar yen that's, running around between, like, let's just say, 113 and 115, it'll probably find itself at 114, challenge the upper or lower end of the range following the data. That's usually what happens in currencies, because everybody position squares and you get this kind of neutral place where the market finds itself. The problem with the euro dollar this week is we are near 2021 lows and really key support, and we're right there, like within 10 pips of breaking down. If you're long the euro, you're probably pooping your pants right now, because you're in the camp that if we break through 115, this could get pretty accelerated pretty quickly. Don't forget that 115 is the spike high, post-COVID spike high back in March of 2020. You start breaking below those levels, we're going to see lower teens probably relatively quickly. And so when you listen to like KMan, what he said a little bit earlier about the euro being so weak, look, we're sitting right on support going into a pretty, what I view as a pretty important NFP. Yes, Stelios, fight. And even though he thinks it's going to be more tame,
Lord of the Flies.
But it's one of those things that look, the dollar index is right up against its 2021 highs, euros at lows, and it's weak, and we're heading into an NFP. Important or not important, that's up for you to decide, and we're soon going to find out. But yeah, we break through 115.25. How many stops are, I'm just asking for some friends. How many stops? How many stops are sitting below 115 and a quarter, and then 115? There's got to be a lot of stops down there, right?
Yeah, from my contacts, there's a few stops building through that 115 level.
There you go.
1490 as well.
And so you guys just imagine, how many stops are building there. Now, Marco asked to look at the Aussie really quick, and I just wanted to say that, this is my chart of the day from earlier this week. And I was on this Pepperstone video, which by the way was the last trial run after months of doing this damn thing. I thought it was going to go live this week, but it didn't. But anyway, yeah, I've been looking for a short and playing it on the short side from the 200-day moving average, and this move back up to channel resistance. It was the chart of the day last week, and you know, we're at the 50% retracement, which we were targeting last night. You know, here on the analysis, you know, going for the 50%. 50 DMA, which is also the 50 DMA on the 4-hour chart, or 50 DMA right here, and the 50% retracement, which also comes in right where we're at. So we're there, but the flag pattern can actually stretch a little lower. I still think that we're going to end up testing channel lows, but we are, you know, obviously not going to do that in one fell swoop and not ahead of NFP. So that's just some final thoughts there, because Marco asked. So guys, what are you guys thinking right now? Do you have any thoughts on the yen and yields going into NFP? We should probably talk about that, because the dollar yen is going to be the currency pair that I'm looking at going into NFP, because we are in this triangle. Do you guys have any thoughts on yields right here? I mean, you know, do bonds go higher? Do they go lower? Do we actually break down? Do yields actually break out? I mean, what do you guys think?
Yields is a tough one. I still think we're ranging, unfortunately. So I don't think again.
Your daddy no fun. All right, Ryan.
Sorry, man. Sorry. I mean,
Ryan,
what can I say?
out.
By the way, for the record, my forecast for NFP is probably just between 350 and 400. I think it's going to miss by a little bit. Go on, carry on.
All right, your daddy. Yeah, no, just don't. Come on, give me an answer.
I think if there's a perfect storm, with these numbers, good NFP, good unemployment rate, good participation rate, good wages, we're going to undo a lot of the Fed negativity from them sounding a bit dovish, and we're back on the rate train again, and that should see yields spiking back up.
Okay,
and I'm going to go silent quickly because I'm getting prepped for the numbers.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan, and we'll see you guys. Ryan heads into the chat room, and he goes to post all the numbers on our live blog and everything else. So Ryan, thank you so much for your input today. And I know KMan. Huh?
Sorry, I just want to say something. Are you done? I just want to mention.
No, because your daddy no fun. I'm just here now. I'm just trying to spice things up a little bit.
Well, actually, there is something that was announced today, and it's getting less attention than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Pfizer announced a pill for COVID. Did you read that? With apparently 90% efficacy in terms of you take it, you have 90% less chance of getting hospitalized or dying.
Well, I live in Arizona, dude. I don't even know. I keep hearing that you guys have been dealing with this virus for like a year and a half. Yeah, I have like no idea what you guys are talking about.
The heat there kills everything, right?
No one really cares at all here about that. But I thought I was just at a bar mitzvah last week, and it was like 300 people indoors, and that was like 2 weeks ago, and yeah, no one had a mask on. We're fine.
Yeah,
it's all good.
But anyway, I thought that was important, because that changes the nature of how you can treat this thing, right? It's a lot easier to administer, probably going to be cheaper. But anyway, yeah, of course you can still get it. And the vaccine is the same, right? It doesn't say you'll never get it, but if you do get it, you have the antibodies that help you, go through it at a much easier way. Okay, we have a minute and a half until payrolls.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that the dollar yen is wound up pretty good. I still would love to be a buyer down here at 112.50. And by the way, if we get a weak jobs number, we might trade down there. Yeah, I mean, I look, if that would be another week, it'd be like the second month in a row we'd have a miss, and I would be long at 112. If we get moved down to 112.50, that's what I'm going to be doing today. Flip side is, and I'm actually going to run both the euro and the not how I wanted to.
And you probably short the bonds, Blake, should the yen get there. Yields will come down into that price action.
Sorry, Dale. I am listening, but I'm not. I'm just trying to get everything set up before. Yeah. Sorry, I hear you, but I don't hear you.
A bit like my ex-wife.
That's okay. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
I said a bit like my ex-wife.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. Oh wait, hold on. Where's
like my current one?
Where's my? Okay, here's your data flash, guys. And so
see what you're missing. Anyway.
Data is coming up. You guys, you get this data flash with your ForexAnalytix subscription. It's only $1 for 10 days to try it out. So come join our community. There's your quick sales pitch, really quick before we get started.
It's as fast as Bloomberg.
Yeah,
it often is.
I mean,
often.
we've put Bloomberg next to this when I ran Bloomberg for the last several years. Shoot, sometimes this comes out quicker than Bloomberg.
Okay, let's go. Oh, 531.
531. Dang, it wasn't. I guess 699. That's a good number.
Revision is high as well.
But okay, unemployment rate is better. Average hourly earnings came in line. I mean, that's a good number. The market's liking it.
Participation rate unchanged. Canada employment slightly worse. Okay.
Sorry, guys. I'm adding to some stuff over here. So just
it's a good number. It's a good number.
Yeah, it is. It is. So
weirdly, metals are not moving. Usually they just go flying or dying basically, but they're not doing anything. That's odd.
Yeah, well, you know, I was semi joking in the chat room yesterday, but I wasn't. I wasn't. You know, the euro dollar is not going to recover until we get all the people that were calling for 130 last year, you know, calling for 120, and you know those same people that were calling for 130 are now calling for 122. Once we get into the teens and they start calling for 120, is probably when the time that you want to be long the euro, which is going to end up being probably around the 112 level. For you guys that don't know this, if you haven't been around long enough here listening to me, I really want to be long the euro dollar down here in the teens after a retest of this multi-year trend line. But that's
been saying that for months.
That's a long way away. Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty far away. And so
we could be there by year end, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it depends how aggressive equities come off. I mean, look at NASDAQ's moving lower. Yields must be pushing higher now. Which they are following the data. You can see yields have pushed up, so NASDAQ's pushing lower. S&P is kind of getting the nod as well. Dollar Canadian is approaching that 125 level. Hey, how did the Canadian data look, Stelios? I really was
slightly worse than expected, but nothing.
Okay, well, you got a little bit better than expected in U.S. data. Canada? Who's Canada? Canadian data came in. Try to put words together at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's what happens. But you get a weaker Canadian jobs data. This should allow us to press that resistance. One thing that you guys got to keep in mind: we're 10 pips away from the dollar index breaking. Well, we are at all-time highs.
We're at new highs.
We're at new highs for the year, right? And we break above 94.70, and the last place, you guys have heard me say this over the last couple months, we break 94.70, the last place you're going to want to be is short the dollar in any way, shape, or form. And I mean that, because that's the determination between being bearish and being range bound, is this big fib level on the dollar index. And by the way, I just sold some euro at 22 there, just because we're holding the breakdown spot. So just sold some into that little bounce.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up, Ryan?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
It looks a good report on paper, but again, the details are not so great. Unemployment rate has dropped, but that's because the participation rate is standing still. Wages are up as expected. Again, that's probably firms, chasing workers. We're still not seeing people coming into this market, so we're still not going to see those huge vacancies dropping. So it's still a bit of a problem there, I think. But the headline writers will go 530,000 and happy days. But longer term and looking at it structurally, I still don't think it's a positive report.
Okay. Well, thanks for writing that. Now, it's interesting because stocks have all climbed to new highs, and here's the S&P right at channel resistance. Now, I'm going to show you guys something really quick. Let's go into the chat room here, and let's go into the files. Actually, let's go to news and research really quick, and then go into the files. So, did I post this last night? Here, I was on the road last night, so I did. Okay. I actually did this from my mobile phone last night. So this is the dollar Mexican peso, by the way, is hitting lows because of the stocks being at all-time highs. But check this out. VIX is at 9, which is extreme sentiment index. That's extreme bear sentiment. Been 2 days in a row that we're at 9. NASDAQ and S&P are at 93. Now, I've been looking at DSI for several years now, probably like the last 5 years, and same with you, Stelios. I think you could probably mention that you have as well.
Yep.
You don't get these readings that extreme for too long. So I think I've seen a couple readings in like around 95 to 97, but it doesn't last very long. But really, readings at these levels usually don't last more than a couple of days. So the reason why I'm saying that is we are at very extreme sentiment readings all the way across the board with bullish equities, and you have to be really, really careful while we're doing that. There's NASDAQ at highs, and by the way, Dow all-time highs once again. So what are your thoughts here with the price action, guys?
Fade the yen, look for 112.60.
What's that?
I think you could fade the yen and looking for that place where you want to buy it, Blake.
I don't know. Yields are moving higher, Dale. Look at all the yen pairs. I mean, very big.
Yields are coming back down now, though.
Oh, are they? I can only watch a couple things.
It's okay. It's okay.
But here's the euro.
It's a
yen.
shot, Blake. It's a shot.
But look at the Aussie yen, really at 84 yen, holding support. New Zealand yen, this is actually flag support that it's holding. Dollar yen is still inside of that triangle.
Yeah, it's neutral.
So, yeah, it's kind of neutral here. Anyway,
I don't see anything. I don't see anything big. It should cause a big move here. Euro dollars had a little dip. If it gets down to sort of 15.10, 15.05, I'm going to try a big figure long into there because it's a pretty decent level.
Okay.
Hey, I want to ask you guys before we go, what do you guys think about how the dollar and gold has rallied together in the last few days?
I'm not thinking a whole lot about it right now. Do you guys have any thoughts? Oh, Stelios has all sorts of thoughts. Let's hear Stelios's thoughts.
No, I said that yesterday. I think I said
I like to harass you.
You'll find this happening in the short term. I wouldn't read anything into it. Okay. The main correlation, we know what it is.
I'm looking for a currency conspiracy. Okay.
I don't think a lot of this is a dollar move anyway. I think it's everything else moving, and the dollar's a byproduct. The pound's moving not because of the dollar, it's because of the Bank of England. ECB, the euro's moving because of the ECB. Dollar yen is your marker, and it's doing nothing. Yen pairs went yesterday, they dropped off. That was dragging Aussie dollar and all the other majors. I don't think there's much dollar influence in here at the moment. It's everything else. We're ticking the boxes for RBA, ECB, BOE, Bank of Canada, oil in the mix as well. I think the dollar's the passenger this time around.
Okay, I'm moving because the rent's too high.
That's funny.
I found a nice underpass here in San Diego.
Oh, very, very nice. Hey, at least the weather's good, Dale. That's let's not forget that.
Best place in the world to be homeless.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right?
Anyway, guys, I want to thank the whole team for what a great week of laying it all out there for people, and the way the chat rooms and the communities are growing, and KMan here. I've never seen ForexAnalytix stronger than the position it's in right now. I'd say I'm subjective, but I think we have the best, first of all, webinar, free or paid, on the net, and the best team out there. If you guys, everyone in the audience, you find something better, let me know. I'll interview them. Okay. So thank you guys for doing all you can to help people, to add value to what they're trying to accomplish. Glad to be part of the best team on the net.
Hey,
thank you to your coach as well.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here, Dale. You add so much value to the team and to the daily community experience. That's why we call it FACE. And by the way, Dale came up with the acronym FACE. Yeah. He did. Yeah,
Dale's like the conductor. He's like the music conductor. We're all in a mess, unless he's at the front telling us what to do.
It did. I don't know if I think I've mentioned this to you before, Dale. I used to trade with the Mesa Symphony conductor back in 1997, and we called him Maestro. He actually lived in my neighborhood that I grew up in. He managed his family. His family tragically passed away, and anyway, he managed his family's money, and that's what he traded. And we called him Maestro. You might be the new Maestro in my life, since I haven't talked to him in like 10 years. So
okay, buddy. All right. Well, by Sunday, I can't wait to get back together with the whole team, and I'm jonesing to work. So everyone have a great weekend. This is a great time to join. I'm telling you, with KMan and everything, think about the times you're sitting there consternating something and wish you could go in and ask Blake or Ryan a question. I mean, that could be worth thousands. So don't be short-sighted, invest in yourself and become part of our community. And I'll leave it with, don't just count your pips, count your blessings, and the people you work with and live with, they're your blessing. So have a great weekend, guys.
Cheers, guys.
You too.
Cheers,
Coach.
everyone. Have a great
Thanks,
one.
everybody.
Have a great weekend. We'll get them again next week. Adios. There's Gregor. How do someone has to end the webinar, please? Oh, Gregor was going to come in, maybe. Oh, well. I don't think I can. Let's see. Hello, Mark. Mark, I know. Next man up. Hey, so all you guys have a great weekend. John, Simon, have a great weekend. Rick, all you guys still sticking around. Thank you, Marco. You too. Okay, I will. I'll close the door. Thank you, Mark. Hope you're enjoying Face, everyone. All right, well, I'm just going to leave. Why don't you guys check out? Maybe it'll shut down on its own. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Laura. You too. Adios, Laura. Oh, I could do it. Well, it was nice having a conversation with you guys.